Now there is a big question, and the question is that Al Jazeera for I responded to President Akufo Addo. Wamuma Al Jazeera for 7 days. Say 7 days no aso. Inti no the Ghana for Ebisa and they say, what will President Akufo Addo do? President Akufo Addo sisi ade no beye. And I'm seeing a lot of lawyers speak. Wamo catch President Akufo Addo sisi ade he can go further and sue Al Jazeera internationally. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know whether that will happen, but you see, I'll tell you one thing about Al Jazeera, and probably the reason why Omunya Kukudro catch President Akufo Addo say Wamo apologize. But let me read this article. Or say Kwame Jantwa. Say Kwame Jantwa a legal practitioner. What you say or a lawyer. Na wakache President Akufo Addo say onsiu Mathias and Al Jazeera at the International Court of Justice. Let's read it. Probably maybe that's what the president is trying to do. But let's read it and see. Say president or yes akrana na semno say merit ewomwana. Now I see a private legal practitioner, Mr. Kwame Jantwa, has said that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo Addo could have written to Al Jazeera and Mr. Alistair Mathias simultaneously to retract and apologize for the documentary, in which it was stated that he, Mr. Akufo Addo, acted as a lawyer for Mathias, a Canadian gold smuggler and money launderer, and also benefited from an alleged $100 million infrastructure contract awarded to Mathias. Also, Mr. Jantwa said on the big issue on TV3, Friday, May 5th, with host Roland Walker, that it was Mathias who made the claims and only used Al Jazeera as the tool for the broadcast. Also, defamation is in two forms. The libel aspect, which is written, and there is the slanderous aspect, which is oral. In the president going to Al Jazeera, he could equally have sent a letter to Mathias to retract, because the issue of Al Jazeera is the fact that they broadcast it, but the real issue is what Mathias said in the broadcast. Also, what he said in the broadcast, the president sees it as malicious, sees it as defamatory. So why didn't he go for him? I hope so you guys are understanding what Mr. Jantwa Walker. Wasi nanka yehwe mu pa na Al Jazeera de enyo mo no mo kan asem no eyobi na kan asem. Na so President Akufo Addo aba be tron krata ma Al Jazeera no. Adenti e na wan tron krata ama Mathias no mum. Ati ase e na wo tretre mu se ba ne se defamation a eyemienu. Ba ko wo ho aye tro, ba ko so wo ho aye de anoka. Mathias no ekan Al Jazeera no omomo de omo ya ne se wo mo broadcast here. But even with the broadcast of the Al Jazeera, I know say Ngrofo bebre wo ho ya che omo for defamation due to broadcast, okay? Even with the broadcast no, we'll see whether sa case we the broadcasting of the issue no still Al Jazeera you bit to me achi omo for defamation and I mean I'm not a lawyer obviously. But I mean, we've been following some law cases and all that, and so we'll use it as a case study. I hope you understand. Right. I see. From the first encounter of sending the letter to Al Jazeera, a similar letter should have been sent to Mathias. It is Mathias who made the statement and used Al Jazeera as the platform to convey that message. Inti send your cano Mathias ne make his statement no. Onu do use Al Jazeera. Sinanka ose Mathias no ne sene your friends say ade we ekokoma no. Ati ase. Now I say Mr. Jantwa further suggested to the president to sue Alistair Mathias and the Doha-based media conglomerate at the International Court of Justice after Al Jazeera said it would not retract and apologize. I say what is left to do is to take on Mathias and maybe add Al Jazeera to it. Mr. Jantwa, who is a leading member of the Convention People's Party, CPP, stated, "Into no, asamu awaka atre President Akufo Addo no say unsiu Mathias. Mathias ne the main thing. Into unsiu no siu no wia na wako Al Jazeera phone so. Now listen, Al Jazeera is not. It's not a small organization. no. Al Jazeera is not a small organization. They are international media firm. Media firm bianso no. Sometimes in some way no. In some way more broadcasting no. And they assemble den ebebremo. And so every single media firm as big as Al Jazeera has top lawyers backing them. In fact, even Ghanaian media firms, they have lawyers, legal team, almost good. How much more international media firms like Al Jazeera, BBC, and they have top lawyers backing them. I would want to believe, sir, if they want to bring any investigative piece out, just like what Anas Arimeyao does, Anas, who doesn't even have the financial backing like Al Jazeera will have, no, Anas Krano, or the investigations be bar, or making sure say the lawyers no go through to see say the be anywhere you be to me sue Anas for defamation. Now Baba be released. That is why no one in Ghana has been able to sue Anas for defamation. Because lawyers no better than say okay, you can release it. I'd want to believe say, listen, it is just the minimum. It will be the basic minimum for Al Jazeera to do the same. A be minimum cry say Al Jazeera for or more at the documentary be say eba. On me more lawyers are now lawyers now more clearance. And personally, I think that the reason why the lawyers will give them clearance, they say, they didn't say anything against President Akufo. Me sure say be a documentary ne kramo, amu issue disclaimer be wo baby kitwebi. I don't know, I'm sure. But maybe we were concentrated on the documentary until we didn't see the disclaimer. I mean, sure amu issue disclaimer be say, amu the documentary no mo ye, ensembia nkrofo kan documentary ni mo no. And for they have nothing to do with it. And clearly, if you look into it carefully, Al Jazeera, they have nothing to do with it. They are just reporting. Unless you want to tell me you are curtailing their rights to report on stories. Because omoko interview will be, and now any interview omoko ye journalism, investigative journalism, expose. And an ipakona bo udin. Omo amfa nche nipakona no se wombo President Akufo Addo din o. Nipakona na bo Akufo Addo din. And I make say asem we kokopie mu court. I am sure say Al Jazeera krabe wini because court beka say well if Al Jazeera had bad intentions. Nanka before releasing the video no omo mama metro enkrata enkonkoma President Akufo Addo. Any Alistair Mathias say mon responde na nsem a ye be releasing no any. International court be gina so aka say now the fact that before releasing the video they sent you letters and informed you of the content of the video no it means say omojuma mo ye na no ano no. And I'm sure say Al Jazeera can be omo lawyers na mo say futu no. And it will be a big point if indeed President Akufo Addo sues Al Jazeera. It will be a very big point to sue Al Jazeera. No muwie ye no response amuni na nso ma ye no omo ka tre nkrofo say ye the expose ye no eni expose ye na branch ne nsem a wokan ye no eni na nso a branch ne kan nsem ne wie ye a ye ka tre ne say ye wo expose de waka ni osanso sesa na no e na woka say ye mesire o President Akufo Addo no minim no obebia omo de ni na ka documentary ni hu Al Jazeera di for the na ka documentary ne ho say a branch no ye expose ni wie ye ka say won tre na adwen wasem ne ho so oni Akufo Addo nti de waka no eni iti court can even say well Al Jazeera did nothing wrong. They were playing the neutral side. Obi na waka akwa na asem e ba kono kan wie ye no wasesa na adwen omo the two sides ni na aba. So this thing and I'm not a lawyer, but I find it very difficult. Say obi ebe yes or the same way court and the person who expects so be winning case no. I'm telling you, I find it extremely difficult. So we be na adwen say the same way be kwa kujina court pa na court aka say okay and the Al Jazeera dem ye na defamatory. Omo de den they were investigating someone and ba kono kan asem. Kan asem wie ye na ye ka tre ne say asem wa waka ni ye be post you then na wo kan fa ho o si o mesre manka hwe and omo sanso de betu just a brand ne nsem a wo kan no eni ya ka tre ne say ye be post na asem a wasan so kan nani ye de ni na atre mo wo be say ogidi agidi wo be say obeji dia men jindi I mean who courts ben international courts come on Charlie. President Akufo is a lawyer. Probably on also the assembly be court wo be hwemu ehu say assembly ni ba kuno yesi that be we there the ba kuno ye no mean to means you know na baby. I'm sure President Akufo will do something like that. If President Akufo ebetumi di obi akokota eyesa Mathias no be no kra no Mathias no nso betumi defend no ho say oh mi wie ye no me a me ka kra mo say mi nimo Mathias nso betumi defend no ho say ye ntro na me twa me wie ye